VR gaming is in danger. Let me explain. On June 5th, 2023, Apple, one of the biggest tech companies in the world, announced the Apple Vision Pro. Now, at a first glance, this seems really good for VR gaming. Another major company moving into the VR space. But if you even watch the announcements or read a single article about this headset, you will realize that it is one of the biggest threats VR gaming has ever faced. The Apple Vision Pro is not only not for gaming, it has design features that seem like they are specifically engineered to make immersive gaming impossible. The headset is only for productivity and the consumption of media such as movies or show. Now, this would still be a good thing for VR if it wasn't Apple that announced it, since Apple's a massive company and it gets a lot of publicity. Since Apple announced this headset, hundreds of articles have been written acting like the Vision Pro is the first VR headset to ever exist. The Vision Pro got so much publicity at launch, even major tech reviewers and YouTubers that never before were interested in VR made articles and videos about the upcoming headset. The fact that a non gaming device is sometimes being lauded as the only VR headset is a very dangerous thing to the VR gaming industry. All hope is not lost, however. Meta has a chance to pull focus back to VR gaming, and I think they will take it. In case you did not know, Meta has acquired 9 large VR studios: Beat Games, Sanzaru Games, Ready at Dawn, Downpour Interactive, and Big Box VR, Within, Twisted Pixel Games, Armature Studio, and Camouflage. These studios have released almost no games since Meta's acquisition of them, making it confusing as to why Meta has held on to them for so long. The only headset coming reasonably soon that is gaming focused is the Quest 3. What Meta has to do is simple. Launch the Quest 3 with as many large scale and overall good games as they can, and also not make them exclusives. They need to make them able to be played on any VR headset. Like they got to make a PC version, and they have to make standalone versions for other headsets too, just to bring as many people as possible back into VR. And they have to put as many good games as they can, and they're already doing this. I mean, so far it looks like they're going to be exclusives, but there might be hope. I mean, there's a lot of upcoming games, and they're all pretty much launching around the exact same time as the Quest 3 is like predicted to launch. At least two of these games are like huge and could bring people to VR for the sole purpose of playing them. I'm talking about Asgard's Wrath 2 and Assassin's Creed Nexus. Assassin's Creed Nexus speaks for itself. It's Assassin's Creed, and Asgard's Wrath says they're going to have at least 100 plus hours of gameplay, which not a lot of VR games have, if any. So basically, the survival of VR gaming rests on the shoulders of upcoming VR users and upcoming VR headsets and companies. If we get more headsets like the Vision Pro, VR gaming might just die. But, if we get more like the Quest 2, or maybe even the Quest 3, if it's as successful, VR gaming should succeed. I mean, if we get anything like the response to the Quest 2 in the next like 3 or 4 years, VR gaming will be totally fine. So, like, if any of you are watching this, I'm not saying you have to get a new headset. If you already have a VR headset, just keep playing VR. That is enough. That should definitely be enough to keep us in VR gaming for at least a few more years. But if you don't already have a VR headset, you may as well pick one up. I mean, I would appreciate it a lot, man. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.